Okay. And this is a letter from Stephen Pigeon, our new assessor, and he Roger has valued the properties for the new assessment roll, and he's requesting the town of Aurora engage him to participate in grievance day on May 23rd, only for the scheduled hearings. This grievance day is 5 hours, and he doesn't anticipate needing any longer than that. And it would be at a rate of $50 an hour. And the reason he asked him is because he's the one that did we have a transition there, and he's the one that did the assessment on these properties. Any questions on that?
No issue here.
Okay. Good. Next, we have the paving proposal for the pool parking lot and the mill overlook. And the mill overlook is in the amount of $25,819.05, which would be taken out of our general fund, but replaced with a donation from Scott Beeler. Has graciously donated the funds for that in the honor of his wife's name being put on the Mill Road overlook. And then the pool parking lot overlay is the community pool parking lot. And I believe that's a mill and fill, or is that, what are we doing there, Dave?
The portion of the parking lot around the pool would be excavated. It's all shot and then just relayed. So you'll notice on that quote, it has 2 layers of blacktop binder in the top. The main parking lot is just going to be an overlay. It's fine just with the tack and overlay.
All right. I had the pool area. Did I have them backwards? The pool parking lot is the overlay, right?
Yes.
And then the pool area resurfacing is
Total tear out.
But that's the area going up to
The
driveway.
The driveway
Yeah.
into the pool, and there's been a lot of changes with the new construction. So it'll just be cleaning it up. Plus the gas lines being moved, and there's going to be covered there too. So I think that it's almost has to be done that area. If we ran into an issue where we didn't think we could afford the parking lot, we could hold off. But I wanted to get pre-approved so that if we do decide to roll with it, it's good to go. This was on the Erie County bid, the low bid. So it's just getting you estimates to make sure you're good if we do it.
Just so we understand this, the Mill Road is a donation. The pool lot overlay and the resurfacing of asphalt in the pool area would be out of ARPA funds.
That's what my understanding is. And I did talk to Scott Beeler. He said he was actually happy with the quote. He thought it was low. We're going to be doing a lot of the work ourselves with truck, and it'll save money. But he said as soon as it's done, just let him know the amount and he'll come and donate the check.
Okay. Any questions?
I do have a question. We had a question earlier, maybe a month or so ago, when he was made the offer of the generous donation. And there was a question about the signage. Has that ever been resolved, or is there a Parks Committee that was working on the signage that would include his wife's name?
Dave Blanchard.
Yeah, it's interesting. We thought somebody stole the plaque down there, and mystery solved. Just so you know, Shane, nobody stole it. The sign, the bronze plaque. It was actually Scott had it taken off, and he's having it redone. So we just didn't know he did it. We thought somebody stole it. So I think that's your answer. He's having it redone to have something put in there for his wife. The only other sign issue we did put up recently at the request of Chief Krieger is to make sure people know that you have to be out of there at sunset. So I think the signs are good.
And you can't take signs without permission either. So that's probably something.
Yeah, can we get a sign a sign that no stealing signs?
Yeah. Please don't steal them. Okay. All right. Thank you very much, Dave. I appreciate it. Thanks for the update.
Dave and I spoke because of the deed restrictions, thinking that might be an issue. We looked through them, and you have up to 2 acres for that parking lot. So not an issue, but we did reach out to the Land Conservancy just to let them know. Nobody's gotten back to me yet.
About paving it?
about that the project would go forward just as a courtesy. So
Um,
we checked the deed restriction. We are able to do this without their approval. We reached out to them to give them a heads up and nobody got back.
I already had that conversation with Nancy.
Right, because Nancy's gone.
Yeah. And originally, and she had no, because I emailed her right away on the whole issue and she was all good with it. So.
Oh, Mr. Supervisor, I just want to make sure that you know that on the quote for the overlook, that we will be hiring a paving contractor.
Mhm.
Whereas the quotes for the pool, town of Lancaster has agreed to come and pay for free. I just want to make sure you know that
And that's off the county bid.
and that's on the county bid as
Okay,
well.
As long as it's on the county bid. All right, everyone good with that?
Thank you.
Okay. All right, good. All right, next is a request from Dave's department, Elizabeth DeVizio. He wants to order some cat work tools, a utility broom with a cat track loader. And the price will be $15,379. And a brush, also including a brush cutter. And that would be paid out of DB 5130.217 equipment purchase. You want to say anything about that?
Yeah, it's just we're happy that you let us buy it. And it's one of these things that you find there's more uses for it than we thought. We already had bought the mill for it, but the broom will allow us then with the same machine, just switch the attachment and it'll suck it up and load it right on the truck. So it's about productivity. And then also too, we decided with the brush hog for doing our grubbing on the shoulders, it'd be kind of a lot easier than the loppers. And also we thought in the parks department, having those tracks and being able to get into Majors Park, maybe some of the trails that they're talking about on the Hubbard Road side, we might actually be able to do with this machine. So I think it's just one of those things that the more you have it, the more tools really. So hope you're.
Everyone, you good with that? Any questions? Okay. Next we have the AED proposal. This was something that Joe brought up. I think it's for the new restroom. Is that correct, you guys?
Yeah, there's some different types of EADs. We're gonna have to table it if he's not here.
Yeah.
Because I don't know, but there's a
Oh.
question about who can use them and where you store them and a lot of things that you wouldn't think of. So we'll have to wait for him to come back.
Yeah, and depending on where we put them, if we put them inside this building or if we have it in a where it's has access to the public, but there's no security over there, that would worry me. We have to have someone in charge of it. So
Right, yeah,
those are
that's-
like items that we got to talk about. So good idea.
Yeah.
And I think we can move forward with it once Joe gets back. So we'll just table.
I think there are some there already
In the pool.
in the
Yeah.
pool.
But-
And regardless, these
Kids
ones,
had that office there.
what I understood is these ones, even if we accept them, they are much better than the current ones that we have. So they would be an upgrade. Even
Or
if
we
decide
replace
to keep
those
them.
maybe? Is that what you're thinking?
So even if we replace those, just kept them in the pool room, they're apparently a significant upgrade from the ones we currently have. So we'll just, again.
I would,
wait for Joe.
my only concern would be having it in a restroom that anyone could go in there and rip it off the wall, or God forbid that someone needed it and the battery was dead because no one checked it, or just think those little things that we have to just check out and make sure that everything's good, and we can do that. So. Okay, next is the social media policy. And Luke, you want to talk about that at all?
Well, this is the update from 2 weeks ago when we spoke about it. Some of the changes that you have one administrator is able to post without getting a second administrator approval. But Bridget is making them, not me, because I'm not nasty like that, but Bridget is making them sign the form in Appendix B, which is real simple. I think that adequately protects the town. And then we have the list of approved pages. So there's 3 Town of Aurora pages of Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram. And then Aurora Highway, Dog Control, Rec, and Historian at Facebook. And Rob wrote today that the historian also has an Instagram account. Which actually the back row, raise your hand if you prefer Facebook or Instagram. Facebook, Instagram.
What about
So-
Snapchat, Councilman?
Well, Snapchat is it goes away. We can't do it for the open. Yeah, for a couple of reasons, but yeah. Yeah, let's use TikTok, right?
Joe's gonna be very upset about that.
Dave can start posting his dances on when they're building a road. So it is important that we use Instagram because even though our brains don't understand it. Yeah, clearly other brains do, smarter brains. So with that, I mean, there's the rules. Rob also wanted to add a section into a 5.1.12, where we specifically say historical items. Other than that, I think this is pretty easy. Administrators can post. We'll have the ability to appoint administrators anytime. Like I wrote, if anyone else wants to be an administrator of these sites, the town clerk wants the office, you have someone that you want to, an emergency or anything, then we can change that. And then really the question is, once we have this approved, we have a Town of Aurora emergency management site that we created, but somewhere along the way, the village got access to it. So we have to take away that access or give it to them. But because it's a Town of Aurora created site page, I think we keep that for ourselves. I mean,
Are they listed separately on it?
no. And it causes confusion. We had 1 week where I don't think we changed our garbage schedule, right, Martha? You remember that week? And they posted that the garbage schedule was changed, but they didn't write that it was the village. So people in the town it's the Town of Aurora Emergency Management. So it causes a lot of issues. Yeah.
All right, I need to talk to them about that. I don't know, that was something that Sue Freeze created, wasn't it?
I think, yeah, back in COVID, Sue Freeze created it, and then we did a lot to get people signed up. We put a lot of effort into that, so I wouldn't want to lose it. But somewhere she gave access to, I believe, Kathy, maybe Maureen as well.
It doesn't sound like it, but was the initial idea because the East Aurora Police Department it covers the town as well? Was that the original idea? Why the village would have access to that?
I think just because the village didn't have one, and
No.
Shane maybe didn't want to give the police one. I don't know.
Yeah, they have access.
I think that, yeah, as I understand, they have access. So, because Sue gave it to Joe, and Joe can look now, and he said that Kathy at least has access. I don't know.
Okay.
Did you get Rob's email?
Yeah, I responded to him. So the three things he changed, I think if we just move to add those, I didn't have any issue with it.
I think he just wants to make sure there's a chain of command for him, which has always been one way. He was just a little nervous on a few items on that today, and
Yeah, he wanted to change. So the administrators really, I mean, he doesn't need approval from the other administrator. He can post on his own, but we can put, supervisor and or deputy supervisor. That's what he wants.
I just think he's always answered to that office. So whoever's in that office would be his administrator at that time. That's what he was requesting.
Yeah, I mean, I have no issue with that.
And
Again,
and then he wanted to make sure that he could, as he has been, share his photographs that he puts in occasionally of historic items for the town.
Yeah, so when we move to accept the page, adopt the policy, we'll have to also move to include the Aurora Town Historian Instagram page on Appendix A.
Yeah, I'm just wondering if we need to maybe have a meeting, maybe you, me, Chuck, Martha, Joe, whatever would it take to maybe button this up one more time? Maybe go over
We
it.
can wait another 2 weeks, not urgent.
Yeah, I
We've had it
mean,
on there for 3 years now, so
yeah,
another 2 weeks.
I
is not
mean,
gonna really.
some of it seems a lot of. Like it's overdone to me. I don't know.
Well, like what?
Just all the. There's quite a few people involved, let's say, in this whole thing. I don't know.
Well, again, I mean, any administrator can, that is appointed can post, right? As long as you sign Appendix B.
Mhm.
There's no approval process. To remove it, it takes 2 people, right? So that's that. I'm more than willing to wait in 2 weeks and we can discuss it. we've been doing this for a long time and
Right. Well,
I don't want
that's
2
why I
weeks to
said,
go
you know
by
what,
with
it's. I don't know about you, but it's easier for me if we sit at a table and do it instead of back and forth on emails. And iron it out. If we have any questions. I don't know what Jim thinks about it, or Bridget would. As far as you looked at all this, right?
Yeah, yeah, several times.
Have we looked at other towns? Are they that deep with us, or
they're usually more.
they are? Okay. All right, as long as we have done that.
As you and I spoke a little earlier, Luke, and I'm not an attorney. You are. It's evident that this is, it just, if we need all of this in here, then we need it.
I mean, I'm willing to sit down. We can sit down, go over whatever you want to. Just we've had this now several meetings.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So I can't propose what I think in your head you want to propose.
Right.
So
No, I
Yeah.
understand that. Yeah, if we could set up some kind of a face-to-face meeting and just do an item by item.
yeah, I mean, it would
Just
help
to
if
make sure
you,
we're in.
if you go through it and just make
Yeah.
notes.
Yeah.
Of what it is you want to look over.
That way, when we come, we know that we're ready. We're done. With Joe not being here tonight too, we should have his comments. So, I mean, what does everyone think? Want to do that, or?
No, I'm good with that.
Okay.
I think, would it be possible for Bridget to be at that meeting?
Yeah.
It'd be great to,
Well, I think, and just, so I'm not getting it wrong, you're talking about at least initially just Jim and Luke, so it's not a violation of the open meetings, I would assume. And then whatever you guys,
or post the meeting,
pardon me?
or post the meeting.
Oh, yeah, if you have the time to
can
do
do
it.
If Jim
Yeah,
and Luke want to get started, I'm certainly fine. with
either
that.
way, doesn't matter to
Just make it
me.
a special
I agree.
meeting.
Yeah,
Make it a special meeting. But at least you sit down and we can sit right at the table and take it item by item, take the time. And just make sure, one more time.
I'm sure you put all of this in there for a reason, Luke. Just
Like
Explain it to
we'll
us.
meet and we'll talk.
explain it to a layman.
Yeah.
And that way we can get Rob's concerns in there and
Yeah, there's really only 3 things, so that's
Yeah.
easy change, but. Yep. We'll meet. You want to make an official meeting? I don't think it's quite that important, but
well, that
let's
way,
get everybody
whoever wants to
comfortable.
be there can be there,
Yeah.
we don't have to restrict it.
So you don't want to set that now?
Ken,
Because if it's going to be that way, we have to do it during the meeting, right? Or do we
Say that again, Luke.
we have to decide that during the meeting if we're going to have an open meeting, right?
no,
No,
don't.
Well, we got to
We have
let Martha know
Yeah.
she's got to post.
I would post it, yeah, just,
but you don't have to do it during a meeting.
you're probably better off setting it tonight
Okay.
when you want to do it.
What is good? Next week, good for you, Luke? Is there any particular day?
what time of the day are you thinking?
Well, is morning
What
good?
about Bridget too? Is during the day okay with you, or would you prefer?
Yeah, I'm planning a half day here in the office anyway,
Okay.
so I can,
Morning
Okay,
or
so-
afternoon?
whenever you want, it doesn't matter.
Is mornings better for you, Luke, or
Doesn't matter. What
No,
depends on the day.
afternoons are better for-
afternoons?
No, it actually next week it doesn't really matter. Depends on the day.
How about Monday?
Monday morning is okay. If we're done by 10,
Is that giving us enough time to post it?
Monday morning, if we're done by 10,
8 o'clock.
let's do Tuesday, if that's better. Mondays are all.
Tuesday morning is
Mondays
better.
are
yeah.
all Mondays.
Except for April.
What's Tuesday for you? Luke?
Never finish
Tuesday's
it.
fine in the morning, yeah.
Yeah, say 9 o'clock.
Tuesday at 9?
Tuesday at 9.
Thank you.
And I'm just free until 10, and then I've got something else I've got to do. So
That's
9 to 10, I'm just available from 9 to 10. at that point.
We can do it earlier.
I can't do it early. I
All
gotta
right.
get my kid to school.
Okay, 9 o'clock, Tuesday, special meeting. April 18th. We can either probably have it up in the conference room.
If you're a visiting student tonight, though, you have to be there in order to get credit, right?
That's part of
That's
the
my
rules. isn't
understanding.
it?
Okay.
Just kidding.
never mind.
Okay,
It's a question.
and with the intention of finishing this thing, finish this thing off. You good with that? Luke, you good?
Yeah, let's get it done.
All right, very good. Okay, that is it with the work session, unless anyone has anything else to bring to the table. If not, we'll start our regular meeting. And tonight we have no public hearing. So I'll move for the approval of the March 27, 2023 work session and meeting minutes.
So,
Um,
go ahead, Chuck.
Nope.
Motion
Second.
by Jim, second by Chuck. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? And that is carried. Next, we have audience, and this is audience one is opportunity for anyone in the audience to address the board on any items that are on the agenda. If you wish to do so, please come up to the mic. Give us your name and address. Guys have nothing to say tonight? Okay. No unfinished business. So we'll go right to new business.
Are you gonna add the special meeting and vote on it?
So we're going to add G. Special meeting to the new business. Do I have a motion?
I'll make that motion.
Motion by Chuck. Your second,
A second.
second by Jim. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? And that is carried. A, we have the temporary use permit at Knox Farm Polo Field, and this is for the Buffalo Polo Fest match to be held July 15th, 2023 from 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. with the proceeds going to the Kevin Guest House. Everything in the application is in order. We are still waiting for the insurance from the Buffalo Polo Club and the actual fee of $1,000 fee for the use of the field. Do we have a motion to pass this or authorize this application contingent upon receiving the insurance and the fee?
I'll make that motion.
Motion by Chuck. We have a second.
A second.
Second by Jim. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? And it's carried. Thank you. Next, we have a request to hire Roger Pigeon for grievance day. And that is at a quoted hourly rate of $50 per hour. And not to exceed the 5 hours. We have a motion. Motion by Luke,
I'll second.
second by Chuck. Any discussion? On favor?
Aye.
Opposed? And that is carried. C. Paving proposal for the pool lots, Mill Road Overlook. I think we'll do these in different motions. We'll do the Mill Road Overlook first. I need a motion to approve the Mill Road Overlook paving at an amount of $25,819.05 to be taken out of the general fund and be after we receive the donation from Scott Bueller, that would be sent back to the fund. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Chuck? Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Second by Jim. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, and that's carried. When there's only four of us, you guys got an overtime, you know.
Good. I figured that.
The next two we can do in one motion, I think. A motion to approve the pool parking lot overlay for $21,352 to be taken out of our ARPA funds. And a motion to approve the pool area resurfacing of asphalt for $20,988 to also be taken out of ARPA.
So moved.
Motion by Jim,
Second.
second by Luke. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? And that is carried. Thank you. Next is a request from the Highway Department to purchase a brush cutter and a utility broom for the cat track loader in the amount of $15,379 to be paid out of DB 5130.217. And this is an equipment purchase. Do I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Motion by Chuck,
I'll second.
second by Jim. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? And that is carried. This is a request from Kathleen Moffett. He approved to use debt reserve funds to make the $40,000 principal and $2,295 interest payment to Greene County Commercial Bank for the Glebe Avenue parking lot bond. The payment is due 4/15/2023. A motion?
I'll make that motion.
Motion by Chuck,
I'll second.
second by Jim. Any discussion? Just so everyone knows, those funds have, when we sold Glebe, we put those funds away. So it's not costing us anything. That was involved with the purchase, when we sold it, the selling price.
I think there's 4 more payments and it's over, I think.
I'd have to ask Kathleen.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's getting there.
That's not part of the motion, but.
Yeah, but
that's-
we, like I said, we put that money aside. We couldn't pay off the bonds. They weren't callable. So we had to, when we sold it, we just took the money from the sale, set it aside for the bonds as they came due. Yeah. Any other questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? That is carried. Next, another request from Kathleen Moffett. This is a budget amendment for Erie County chargeback. Attaches a copy from Erie County that contains an error. The affected special district should be 24670 rubbish, not 2465 rubbish as listed. The funds were thus incorrectly budgeted in SG refuge, but should have been budgeted in SR rubbish. She requests approval to amend the budget and use fund balance to pay the invoice. The amendment is as follows: decrease SR 599 fund balance by $1,664.58 and increase SR 1958.400 tax collections and refunds by $1,664.54. Do I have a motion to approve?
So move to amend the budget as stated.
Motion by Jim,
Second.
second by Luke. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? That is carried. Next, we have the special meeting. And
I'd actually like to add to that, as you saw in the email, the Climate Smart Community Task Force is proposing a page on our website. And you had some concern with that, Jim? where it would be put on the website or I don't know.
Well, no, yeah, if you want to discuss it. My only concern is, okay, we have the climate, smart, task force, right? Are these individuals named, or did we just say we're gonna have this task force
We
and
named
just
them.
with a certain amount of people in it?
We named them.
We name us, are they gonna take an oath?
No, Martha said they didn't have to because they're not a,
They're all named. Some were named and some weren't.
I
No,
guess
no,
I
what we
just don't know
have-
how are we gonna, my questions are just not that I'm against it, just going forward through procedure.
let's add that to the next Monday, but we do have 7 or 8 appointees. They're all named. There's other people that attend who are not official members of the Climate Smart Energy Task Force. They will not be. There's no reason for us to appoint more people.
The high school kids were,
Oh, yeah,
but they weren't named.
right, because that'll change every year.
So would that be a 1-year appointment that we would redo every year and I mean, there's just no we don't have any organizational rules.
We
on
did the
it.
resolution. I don't know what we put in there that was based on the form. I don't think we put a time. So I think it's,
That would be my only questions on it, that, is there a term?
well, in the website too, if you look, is more involved. So it would take information about our greenhouse gas emissions by buildings and other things. It would not just be like a planning board that has just the members. So it's something we should talk about more in depth.
I guess I'm just concerned, and maybe this is a Bridget question, I don't know, whether all the other committees take oaths, they have terms, and they're appointed whenever their term comes up at the reorg meetings. Is that something we need to do with these task force committees? What if West Falls Advisory wants to get a page? Are we gonna put one up for that? I mean, you know what I'm saying?
Well, I think, did we pass an official West Falls? We didn't appoint anybody for West Falls. So if we were to do that, I think they would deserve a page, but
Right.
that never happened. So there's a difference, but
I'm not against, I mean, I know it does advance our climate smart agenda. Are we doing it legally?
As a formal committee.
Yeah.
Is it going to be appointed with terms and a chairman and?
well, we already appointed. It's a good question,
Yes.
but regardless of the website, we're in that zone already because we appointed without terms based on the model that New York came with. So I assume we appointed until we appoint again, right? I don't know how that would work.
I don't-
If we appointed for
It's
no
uncharted
term.
territory to me. We've never done this, of course. So,
So-
I mean, I want to do it. I just want to do it right. So.
Well, we've already done that. I mean, that
Well,
part is
yes,
done.
we-
Let's go
we-
back and take a look.
Right.
But as I understand, Martha, you said that it's not a committee, so there's no need to take an oath, right? What was your thought on that?
You have to take an oath. If there's a term limit, you have to take an oath, but there's no term limit. And not everybody was named on it, so you can't take an oath if you're not named.
Right.
So they're not exactly, then they wouldn't be appointed, Martha, is that what you're saying? They're appointed, but not with the term limit is what you're saying.
Right, but there are a few that weren't named either, just says high school students. It doesn't have names.
Emma has a name.
It
I
can
don't
just be,
imagine.
we can just say did we just say 2 people from the school, right?
Yeah, right.
So their names wouldn't be listed on the page?
Well, what we can do is let's add a review of that resolution to the agenda. That's sort of it's a separate issue from the website, right?
Right.
So we can talk about the website. And
Do
then
you want to do that for the
let's
special
also
meeting?
at the special meeting, talk about
Right.
what we want to do with that. Other towns have done, I mean, we use the New York model, so we're not the only ones that have passed a resolution
Okay.
like we
I
did.
guess I would just ask Bridget to get some information for us, just so we're doing it right, correctly, that's all.
Mhm.
That would be my only concern.
So let's add that to the special meeting as well, if it's a part of the
Okay,
page.
well, then I need a motion for the special meeting and 4/18 at 9 a.m. At the special meeting, we'll be talking about the social media policy and the special or the adding the page for the climate smart. correct? Good, all right. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Motion by Luke,
I'll second.
second by Chuck. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? And that is carried. All right. Communications and reports. We have the senior center, town clerk and tax. Town clerk and water, March 23 report. We have the town clerk tax, February 2023 corrected report. We have the East Aurora Police Department, 2023 report, February, and the supervisor's March 2023 report. Business from the board members, Jim Granville,
No business at this time.
Chuck.
I just want to mention that the Easter egg hunt went off without a hitch a week ago this past Sunday. Megan Tent did a great job. She probably gained a few gray hairs. She was so worried about postponing it from Saturday to Sunday, but it couldn't have worked out better. Lots of people came, lots of kids came, and it was really just a nice event. So thanks to Megan and thanks to the rec department and thanks to the highway department because they did a great job too.
Thanks, Chuck. Luke.
I was interviewed today by Channel 2 News for a report that'll be coming out on Wednesday, an initiative we've been doing with the county. So take a look out for that. And that'll be addressed at the State of the County address on Thursday as well. Some pretty good news for us. So that's coming forward and it's probably going to result in a lot more work for us.
Very good. And I have nothing tonight. So we'll go to audience 2, and this is an opportunity for anybody in the audience to address the town and any concerns whatsoever. If you choose to do so, please stand up and come up to the mic and give us your name and address. Anybody? Going once? Okay. Then we'll go to staff reports. Paul, anything? Okay. Rod, you good? Shane? Dave?
Something I just was thinking when you brought up the AEDs in those bathrooms, I think the board maybe want to think about us installing timer locks on those locks eventually. That's what we've done in West Falls and in Warren. You know, I think that's your worry is overnight people go in and damage them. So just something to think about.
That's worked out pretty good.
Yeah. Instead of down at Hamlin, the police, I think, still lock it every night. But you know, you can't leave them all
I think
open.
that's just to do it. I mean, we gotta prove
Okay.
it.
Yeah, they were about $2,000
It's the
bucks.
alternative. Where's the key?
Well, but you're probably looking at $4,000. I think they were about $2,000 each, but they're well worth it because. You know,
It
so
would have been more fun to have the police go to West Falls every night. Not as much fun to the town park. So, but to do the locks though. Yeah, so might as well put them in here.
So I guess maybe let's see how your ARPA funding comes after the paving, make sure, and then maybe you could fund that. But I know we don't have the money in the budget, so I just thought something to think about. All right.
Okay, thanks, Dave. Liz? Nothing. Oh, you guys came to a good meeting tonight. All right, motion to approve the abstracts.
So moved.
Motion by Jim,
I'll second.
second by Chuck. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, and that's carried. And a motion to adjourn.
I'll make that motion.
Motion by Chuck,
I'll second.
second by Jim. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, and that is carried.